and welcome to the Kryptonaut Podcast. I'm Mark Storrs, and with me, as always, is
Cliff Jenkins.
And
I love it, Rob Morphy.
Thank you all so very much for joining us. As always, the social medias, the Instas, the Twitters, the Facebooks. Check out our TeePublic. We just recently launched 3 new designs.
Holy shit,
did.
3?
Yeah, 3 of them. We've got the Owlman of Cornwall.
Yep.
And we have the International Occult Laborers Union.
Which is just a little gem.
Which
I'm
is
really
pretty
proud
fun.
of that one.
And also, too, we have the Kryptonaut Round Table. It was designed by TeePublic.
Yep, an exclusive from them.
For us. And the design, the idea for the design actually came from our Facebook fan page, and it was put together by our Facebook fan page admin, Robert Thompson. Pieced that idea together, and then we kind of like, hey, you know what? Let's transpose this over into a design. So thank you very much, Robert, for that awesome idea, and thank you, TeePublic, for designing a T-shirt for us.
Yeah, it was
That's
so
kind of
cool.
cool.
And the art is great. I mean, I'm a little envious. Well done.
Totally. So those are available over at our TeePublic shop. The link for that will be in the description of this podcast. Patreon.com/Kryptonaut Podcast. Check that out over there. We got some fun stuff coming up, some experimental stuff coming up soon.
We do. Maybe even in a few weeks, there might be another
There might
tier.
be some awesome things. Yeah, we could be dropping a new
Possibly.
tier really soon, so we should check that
Tears
out.
are falling.
Oh,
Oh no, tears are falling.
Before we get started with this week's episode, we want to give a podcast shout out to Hysteria 51, the podcast. You can find them at hysteria51.com. And a weird, coming together of podcasts, we actually dropped the same episode on the same day.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
With the Orang Medan.
oh no shit.
Yeah.
Which is now. What's funny about that though is that was our second time doing the Orang Medan because we fucked the audio.
Yeah,
It's true.
We had a fuck up.
We had a
Yep.
complete fuck up, so we had to redo it.
You know what it was? Sea wraiths.
Oh, it was sea raids.
Yep.
There you go.
They
Now,
got,
also
they got
too,
into the gear.
also too, at one point, I believe it was when we released the Men from Multiple Earths, right?
Yes.
Okay. They also at that time, around the same time, released the man from Torad.
Yeah.
What is it?
I like to call it Tau Red.
Tau Red.
yeah,
but I
yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
there's been one definite, one super close. So it's
there's a
kind of
little
cool.
synchronicity
Yeah,
going on
totally,
here.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. So
Yeah.
shout out again to Hysteria Podcast. It is Hysteria 51 Podcast. It is hysteria51.com. So check them out.
Yeah, they're
And,
awesome. Definitely worth
a lot of
checking out.
listeners this week were shooting me screenshots of their pod and our pod.
Yeah,
They're
no,
like,
they
we got
probably have their
back-to-back.
list. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, snap. I'm definitely going to listen to their pod. I can't wait to hear their
Yeah,
take
totally.
on it. They're funny motherfuckers.
Awesome. All right. So this week, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the Silver Swimmer and the Sea Dragon.
That's just a cozy little title.
It is.
It's like the Silver Surfer and the Savage Dragon.
Oh,
really?
Silver Surfer and Savage Dragon. That'd be a sweet crossover.
Oh, it smacks of comic book extravagance.
All right, let's get started with in an event that seems called straight from the pages of a Marvel comic book or the frames of a 1970s Toho sci-fi masterpiece, a group of awestruck witnesses watched in wide-eyed wonder as a colossal, silver-suited humanoid grappled with an undulating serpentine monstrosity in the surging dark waters of the Black Sea.
The blackest of seas.
It was an astonishing incident, one which some perceived to be mortal adversaries locked in a life-or-death struggle, and which others insisted was nothing more than a mammoth, man-like being engaged in a vigorous frolicking session with his pet sea serpent.
You know, if I'm going to frolic, I want that shit to be vigorous.
And with a sea
And
serpent.
a sea serpent.
Healthy,
Yeah.
hardy,
Totally.
serpentine frolic in the Black Sea.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't help but see Rom the Space Knight again. I know we've talked about
yeah,
that. We've
Rom,
talked about
totally.
it with the robotic men of Dragonor.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a really fascinating, brief, and fairly recent account. And
Okay.
let's get into it.
All right, let's do it, Robert.
Located in Sevastopol, Ukraine, in a region formerly known as the Autonomous Republic of Crimea until it was annexed in an unlawful and diplomatically unsound invasion by Russia in February 2014, is a rocky 8-mile outcropping that juts out into the Black Sea and forms a mountainous wedge between the bays of Balaclava and Laspi. That's a little geography
My
lesson for all of
favorites.
us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically what we have is a Black Sea, a super rocky peninsula that sticks out, and that's all you really need to know so far.
All right.
The subject of a famed painting by artist Ivan Ivazovsky and the former site of a Soviet guided missile complex. Cape Aya, or the Holy One, as it translates from Greek, is also known as the site of one of the most anomalous events ever to be witnessed by the eyes of human beings.
Ooh.
Human eyes.
All right, human eyes.
On a pleasant evening in July of 2000, a Russian family from Moscow was taking a holiday at a resort near Cape Aya on the shores of the Black Sea. The father of this unnamed family was scanning the sea with a pair of high-powered binoculars when he spied something he would never forget.
The total dad move, by the way. When you're on vacation, you're like, kids, I got my binoculars.
Yeah, I'm
just
gonna
because
scan
that's
the
what dads
seas.
do.
Yeah.
My dad did it. I do it. Like
What? Now, what's
Your dad
I'm not a
got
father.
binoculars?
What's the instinct? What's the
My dad
paternal
never had
instinct that makes
binoculars.
you want to scan the scene?
I don't know, man. I think it's just a dad thing.
Is it voyeurism? Is it protecting
No,
the
I think it's just like
You
checking
mean
stuff out.
You mean
know?
just the sky? You know what I mean? Like the surrounding. Like you're in a motel and you're like, I gotta know.
No,
what's going
no.
on.
You're normally like out like in nature. Like if I bring my kids out to like the nature trails, I'll like bring the binoculars. I'm like, oh look, there's birds. Like oh look, there's deer. Check it out. Like it's a fun
It's just
thing
like
to
a
do.
one-man conservationist.
It's a dad thing, man. Our sneakers change. We have different socks. It's crazy out here being a
Dad.
dad. You
No,
don't know. It's
you
dad.
do not have white New Balance sneakers.
You're okay. I don't yet, but I
Yet.
may have just purchased some white Nikes that are similar to New Balance.
It's
I may
You
have.
know what it's
Are
the
they
gateway
just for
sneaker.
mowing lawns?
Nope. They are not for lawns. For lawns, I have my boots.
Well, welcome to
I got
the
my
dad
good.
club.
I got my good yard boots for my lawns. So,
All
but
right.
hey, this is cool, man. You're on vacation. Your family got your binocs out.
So
You're doing
if
it.
you were at Cape Aya on the
Right.
Black Sea,
Totally.
you'd be doing the exact same
Fuck
thing as
yeah,
this motherfucker.
dude! I'd be hammered. I'd be fucking
binoculars?
I'd be shit faced with binoculars. Like
Right.
I gotta fucking see, kids.
Vodka to the tits,
Not
fucking
even-
binoculars
yeah,
on
exactly.
your eyes.
There
All
you
right.
go.
All right, dope.
The first thing the observer noticed was a glint of silver. After focusing his lenses, he was able to see what looked like a man swimming, but with two unusual distinctions. The first difference was that instead of a diving suit, the masculine figure seemed to be clad head to toe in a shiny, tight-fitting, metallic, almost armor-like outfit. The second incongruity was that this individual, unlike all of the other swimmers the man had seen cavorting near the coast, appeared to be an astounding 10 feet in height. So
wow.
while you see
Well-
like swimmers and boats and
Right.
whatnot, also you see this silvery, semi-armored, approximately 10-foot tall dude
Okay.
swimming in the Black Sea.
Okay. Well, that's
It's
what
a
happens.
sight you will pause at.
You would take a moment and say, huh, kind of an interesting little sighting. And it sounds to me like
Well-
actually it's something that would kind of stick out considering you're
Well,
on the fucking sea.
Maybe.
Metal sea armor,
Yeah, exactly.
and a 10-foot tall dude.
Totally.
Now, of course, let's be honest. We know it's binoculars, it's the sea. I don't know what the sea has to do with
I know it's
There's
binoculars,
probably
it's the
not a
sea.
lot of comparative studies.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
But if he's seeing like swimmers at a certain distance, assuming they're closer, like say near the shoreline,
Right.
and they're weensy, but he knows Bill, and Bill is like 6'2", and that's what Bill looks like. And then further
Well,
out, there's this dude.
if he knows Bill by the shore.
If he does, Bill by the shore is really friendly. He's known by everyone.
But I mean, that's just like when you zoom in, things are not.
Okay. All right.
I
well,
think we can all
distorted.
agree, without any need for a caveat, that 10 feet tall is a guesstimation.
it's a, yeah, totally.
But
Yeah,
it,
we'll just-
it is likely larger than an average human.
yeah.
We'll
But-
set it to the side slightly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to table this one for the moment.
All right. Okay, so Robert, what happens next in our journey?
Okay. The amazed eyewitness quickly called his family over to take a look at the hulking silver swimmer, as I have dubbed him.
Okay.
The silver swimmer.
Cool. I think that Marvel Comics might have umbrage with you because they have the Silver Surfer.
Wait, really?
I think they might.
Do they have the silver
They are
swimmer?
owned-
Is it trademarked?
Yeah.
They're owned by Disney.
Yeah. Well,
the swimmer,
bring
isn't it?
it.
That's after the surfer wipes out. He has to fucking swim.
Nice.
No doubt.
We can't afford this lawsuit, Robert.
Can we have the Crimson Jogger, or do we have to worry about
Yeah.
DC coming after us?
The Crimson Jogger. Nice.
All right.
The silver spicoli.
Silver fucking Spicoli. Oh, my God.
All right.
Yeah, Sean Penn has to play him.
We drank too much before the podcast, Robert.
Oh, shit.
Put us back on
No.
track.
The amazed eyewitness quickly called his family over to look at the hulking silver swimmer who seemed utterly unfazed by the powerful waves crashing into him, and that's when others nearby began to take notice of the astonishing aquanaut. Am I going to get sued for that one,
I
too?
like Aquanaut.
You might.
That's dope.
I do love the phrase aquanaut.
That is cool.
But if the onlookers thought that the huge metal-smothered man would be the strangest thing that they would see that day, they would be in for a rude awakening.
Oh, we going to high strangeness, Robert?
Big time.
All right.
It would be the anonymous Russian dad who was the first to notice that the silver swimmer was not alone. A gigantic light brown serpent, which looked very much like a leviathan of local legend known as the sea dragon, was twisting itself around the gleaming diver. Big metal man, sea serpent, pulling a python.
Kind of cool, man. It's like a fucking kaiju fight.
It really is.
Yeah.
Hence the reference to 70s sci-fi masterpieces from Japan. Some of the spectators gasped. It seemed as if these two equally unbelievable entities were going fist to fin in a no-holds-bar Black Sea grudge match. They watched in growing horror, fully expecting the dark water to become flush with crimson as either both or one of the inexplicable beings bled to death. Others felt that the interactions between these disparate species were more playful. So I guess maybe you're bringing to the party where your attitude's at.
Maybe,
if you're
yeah.
light and frothy,
Sure.
if the honeymoon's going good.
They're just
it's like,
wrestling.
If you're wrestling, if you got that positive mental attitude going, you're just like, nah, dude, they're just fucking hanging out and wrestling.
If you're Johnny Bitters much, you're waiting for the
if you're me,
bloodbath.
yeah, you're like, fucking kill him.
But otherwise, it's Sir Lancelot of the Lake
And if you're Chris,
Right.
you're positive.
playing
Exactly.
with his friendly water snake companion.
Yeah, that's fine.
Bill.
These other onlookers, these more optimistic fellows, as we say, went so far as to say that it appeared as if the metal colossus was actually, quote-unquote, frolicking with the snake-like creature. This group would further assert that they seemed to be behaving more like a master playing with its beloved pet than vicious enemies hell-bent on wholesale destruction.
See?
Okay, so maybe there's some
It's a spot.
frolic.
It's like the Rashomon of fucking Toho monster movies.
Yeah, seriously.
It's fucking nuts. After 20 minutes of what was either a salty St. George in shining armor attempting to vanquish an aqua dragon, or a rousing bout of good old-fashioned sea wrestling between two old mates, the thrashing pair abruptly broke apart.
No, there was a...
Without so much as a fare thee well, the brownish serpent began to writhe its way back out into the open sea, eventually disappearing in its briny depths. At the same time, the titanic sea knight set off in a perpendicular direction, swimming swiftly along the rocky shoreline towards Cape Aya, the Holy One, as it were.
Okay.
The Russian father, his family, and numerous other eyewitnesses watched for 10 minutes as the massive metallic Michael Phelps pushed against the waves before finally vanishing behind a cluster of dense coastal shrubbery.
Coastal
And we all know coastal shrubbery is just the densest. I know. Even I, as I wrote those words, was like, the fuck are you doing,
Did
Ron?
all right. Well, you know
All
what? Though?
right.
Sometimes self-policing is good, but you know what? Sometimes go with your gut. And you know what? I think you made a good call.
The fact is, they couldn't see it behind some bushes. That to me is some dense coastal shrubbery.
That is that's not
I
coastal
don't
shrubbery.
know what
True.
grows on the shores of
Okay.
the Black Sea.
I don't know.
I'm no fucking botanist.
All right. So these things locked in Mortal Kombat and or
Maybe.
frolicking play, whichever
And/or.
way you want to
Right.
look
Yeah,
at it.
you know,
Maybe.
50% are this
So
way.
they break and dude juts for the fucking. He goes for the coast and then the serpentine thing just jets it out into the
You
water and
almost
they're
feel
just
as
that's it.
if, like,
All
once
right.
they were done fucking around, especially if it was, like, amiable, there's,
Right.
like, a fucking fin to metal hand five.
Good
It's
old
like,
high five.
"Good seeing you,
yeah,
bro."
dude.
Yeah.
Fucking jet. All
Swim,
right.
swim.
All right, weird. Okay.
So let's get into what the investigators think really quick, and then we'll fucking break this shit down proper. Wanting to make a report of their baffling sighting and not knowing where else to turn, the initial observers reached out to Ukrainian UFO researcher and coordinator of the ONAPOS, which translates in, I think, Ukrainian to the Society of Observers of Anomalous Phenomena in the Environment.
You kind of got to get a
That
better
is a
name.
broad
Wow.
spectrum.
Chris, you're Ukrainian, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, your people need to do better.
Shut up.
Because that's just
Wow,
terrible.
there it
That's
is.
terrible.
How about shut up?
I'm not. It's not an indictment against you.
Why
No,
are
I
you
feel like it
impugning
is.
his
You're judging.
heritage?
You're like your
people.
people.
Well, yeah.
As a representative of my people, fuck off.
As a lover of your people, I'm just saying we have to do better.
Do you love us?
Of course I do. There's a Ukrainian festival.
I do love pierogies.
Yeah.
How do you not?
At that local
I
church.
mean, you'd be a fool not to.
At that local church.
Yeah, the one down the...
The one down the block.
Yeah.
there.
There's a couple.
With the nuns and the gambling and the
No, it's
pierogies
the
and the
one that
pigs
I-
in the blankets.
It's one that I worked for. They're
Since
super
Peter
cool.
and Paul has their fest, but
Yeah,
see,
that's the one.
Hyacinth also has theirs.
Oh,
That's
there's
the
two
one
of
I
them.
know.
Yeah.
Okay, I know St. Peter's and Paul.
That's like some backwoods insane shit. Like you feel like prohibition is still on and you're doing some shady shit behind the church.
Dude, I
it's
wish-
like that festival hasn't changed in 100
No,
years.
exactly.
But I wish they were making some sort of weird moonshine, like they made sweet dope, like
Right.
poor people pierogies,
Right,
like,
yeah.
back in the day. But like, I really wish they would make some sort of
Like they used to make
liquor or
a
some
sort of-
shit.
Right.
Like you have to say the password and
So,
you get the fucking
but like
dope.
back-
Like they did
vodka.
used to make a moonshine like Vishnufka.
I think they did probably back in the
I've
day.
heard
I've
stories
heard of
about
that,
it from
yeah.
elder statesmen that
Right.
have
Yeah.
since passed on that would tell me grand stories of the shit that would. I mean, it would be like a
That's what I'm
day-long
saying.
festival, and half the
Absolutely.
people would wake
Yeah,
up there
totally.
the next day
Yeah.
in probably broken glass behind their eyeballs, agony of a
That's
hangover.
the stuff.
I just think that maybe we need to name our UFO groups a little bit better.
All right, I think
That's all.
we can agree on two things right now.
What's that?
One, let's really work hard on succinctly and maybe excitingly naming your paranormal looking into things group.
Okay,
Because it's a
cool.
pretty broad spectrum. It's anomalous more things. And let's support local ethnic heritage festivals
Okay,
because
there you
that's
go.
the last great jam of America.
That's right. God damn it,
The
Tomato
jam
Fest
of
is
America.
coming up. So there
Fuck
you go.
that.
That's not a
That's
jam of
not
America.
anything. That's
Yeah.
a lie.
That
It's
is a
not even
lie.
about tomatoes. It's the worst part. You
No.
expect to go and have like 15 tomato dishes.
Pastas and
it's nothing.
no,
It's
yeah,
a,
no.
It's a corporate lie. Tomato Fest is a fucking lie.
It is a lie.
What was that? What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Trying to get us back on point.
We're
That's
talking
all.
about Tomato Fest now.
Yeah,
Our listeners
you
need
brought
to
Tomato
know.
Fest in,
If
and
you
we
ever
all
come
know
to
it's a
Auburn,
lie.
New York,
I know.
Do not get duped by fucking
All right.
Tomato
It's
Fest.
it's a dude.
All right.
All right, to get back on point, these Onopos, as I'll just fucking bastardize it, was coordinated by one Dr. Anton A. Anfilov, PhD.
Okay.
So you don't want him fucking doing your tonsillectomy, but he's probably an expert in something.
He's got credentials.
Who was based in the southern Ukrainian city of Simferopol, which is apparently a beautiful city once.
Okay.
Before it was conquered by them dirty damn Reds.
Okay.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
nothing against our listeners in Russia, but okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah, no, that's cool.
if we actually have an invasion force listening base,
We could. You never know.
turn it around, guys. You're on the inside.
Be positive, guys.
Keep up beat.
Positive mental attitude. Be positive.
Do me a favor and watch the Black Seas for anything that shines. All right. Dr. Anfilov informed the perplexed witness that Cape Aya was notorious for having underwater caverns that weave into a complex network of tunnels which stretch for miles beneath the rocky peninsula and eventually lead not only to extraterrestrial bases, but also to portals that connect our world directly to other fuck-sucking dimensions.
Oh, is this my fucking jam? Underwater alien bases and or interdimensional gates?
This
And a
would just
the fucking
maze of
Stargate?
tunnels.
Yeah, that's why there was a Stargate in Iraq. Yeah, think about that.
There's always a Stargate in Iraq.
Yeah, there's one everywhere.
That was not in question.
And
Clearly.
then there's also holes in Nevada and Washington.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they
no
dirt gates?
The mud
underground
gate.
alien bases
Okay.
and interdimensional portals. Guess what? We're doing it.
We're doing this?
Fucking doing
We're
it.
fully committed?
Rob, let's do it.
All right. Dr. Amphilov also claimed that there had been numerous reports of quote-unquote sea dragons off the southern coast of Crimea. These serpentine monsters were said to lurk in the same deep-water caves utilized by the aliens. Cryptozoology and ufology.
Mixing it together, having a
Sweetening
little
the deal.
mixer, dancing on a Saturday.
Speed dating.
Yep, getting drinks,
What? Footloose.
Tinder, Footloose, dancing, defying Jesus. What's next?
Prohibition.
Yeah,
Why did they have
exactly.
to defy Jesus?
Because-
At what point?
They're dancing. It
Well,
defies Jesus.
It is a Leviathan and an alien. and
Exactly.
They are dancing.
Jesus does not approve of that ever.
I don't know if Jesus ever actually said anything against dancing.
He
In
would
fact,
come.
I'm
He would come
confident
down
did.
and he would
pretty
say,
sure it's
"Don't
a
do
revelation."
that." Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. While most assume that these beasts are representative of cryptozoological phenomenon, some have speculated that these snake-like predators are not indigenous to Earth. but may actually be interdimensional entities that squirmed here from an entirely different reality.
Okay.
That's a theory.
All right.
Whatever the origins or intentions of the well-tanned sea dragon and the silver swimmer may have been, the bizarre events of July 2000 were memorialized by Anatoly Tavrijeski in an article published in the June 2006 edition of Crimean Riviera magazine.
Oh,
Oh
like
my
a magazine
God.
for
Wow,
the,
what?
sweet for the river?
Crimean
the river.
Riviera.
You just know it's sexy, hot, tourist blasted
Yeah.
zone.
I mean, I've been to the Mayan Riviera, so yeah, totally. All right.
So it's
Cool.
funny that this is where the story is now. Fucking,
Yeah, I mean, of all things that
okay.
you shouldn't tell the story, like to possible tourists. Like,
Well-
hey, come swimming. By the way, there's a giant fucking metal guy fighting a dragon.
you know,
There's a
good luck.
night that might show up in the water.
Could be a possible fucking interdimensional being fighting another
Yeah.
interdimensional being. Bring the kids, have a barbecue, beach towels. Be sure to bring your fucking sunscreen and lots of fucking booze.
And
There you
Hoffman
go.
hot dogs.
Hoffman hot dogs.
Which you
Oh,
probably
man.
could not
they
get on
there?
the
No,
Crimea.
you
Yeah, I don't think.
No, you would have to import them
Probably have
at
their own
great expense.
version. It's
Yeah.
probably Kabasa.
All right, so
It seems like we're all thinking alike because, and I'm just going to read the final bit here
Okay.
because I was along the same lines. One can only speculate whether the prospect of watching a couple of titans of yore battling in the crashing waves of the Black Sea boosted tourism in the region. But I think we can safely bet that anyone who heard the story took a little extra time to scan the choppy waters in the hopes of spying a telltale flash of silver.
Yeah.
So I guess on that note, we can maybe start with a hoax and or
Multiple eyewitnesses.
Right. But this also.
I'm sorry. Crimean Riviera magazine.
What this
Well,
Impeccable scientific journal
yeah,
that it
or
is.
this could be like a PR/marketing move. Oh, hey, come to the Crimean Riviera. We have fucking titans fighting in the fucking Black Sea. Just saying. Just putting it out there.
All right.
Not saying I believe
It's
in it.
possible.
It's a possibility.
But you get fired immediately if you're a fucking publicist for one of these like super exclusive fancy resorts where only the richest of Russians can go and
Yeah,
afford a place to be
probably,
there.
yeah.
And your big sell is Rom the Space Night with
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
Mini Nessie.
yeah.
Dude, it's fucking. Are you kidding me? That'd be a huge.
WrestleMania.
That'd be a
But
huge
maybe
draw.
not. Actually,
That'd be
I
a
don't
huge
know.
draw.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
like your
that'd be a
kids are
huge
going to be
draw.
swimming. You know what dads want to do? Look through their fucking binoculars while their kids don't get eaten.
Or you want to watch Titans battle in the Black Sea while your family is safely on shore, and you have your nice fucking New Balance, your white New Balance on, and you're just fucking like, hey kids, look.
In
and
all
this
fairness,
fucking,
if you could guarantee a battle,
yeah, that'd be fucking amazing.
you know, I would absolutely fucking pool our resources to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
at 6 p.m. every
Every
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Dude, if I'm gonna bring my
No
kids,
one can prove it's a hoax.
if
No
I'm
one's
gonna
100%
like,
sure it's real.
bring my kids to like Howe Cavern, and they're like, yeah, when you exit the cavern, there's some fucking spectacular fucking bullshit you can see. I'm fucking there, dude. Like I'm
Nailed
all
it.
about
Howe
it.
Caverns?
You really painted a
Like what?
picture there
Yeah,
with no words whatsoever.
I literally, that statement brought me nowhere.
No,
That's
no, it
fine.
didn't.
It really brought me nowhere. But I'm saying, as a dad, if they're like, oh yeah, there's this, you know, whatever's happening, something spectacular, you're gonna be on board. You're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go see some cool shit. Like,
All right,
you
yes.
want to see cool shit,
And I guess that is the paranormal paradox because nothing's ever guaranteed.
right?
Millions of people go to Loch Ness, 3 see it maybe yearly.
There you go.
So I'm not even sure
Or
millions
something,
of
yeah.
tourists anymore, but maybe tens of thousands. But in its heyday, it was a hot spot.
Yeah.
And that's just one of many things. You don't, you know, you go to Roswell, you don't see anything.
Well, think about
No, right.
Think about how much Roswell, I mean, everything obviously there, you know, about the crash and whatnot. Like that's their shit. That's their tourist.
Oh,
fucking
I
shit.
absolutely
Like, that's
don't
huge.
blame this like hole in the wall, middle of a desert city for exploiting
I mean,
a legend.
it was actually just last year that I was saying I was gonna do a trip for the fucking Mothman Festival this year with my
Point Pleasant,
family.
too.
Yeah,
a lot of
totally.
people suggest
Yeah.
that it delegitimizes what happened. I don't think at all. I think if something happened, then there's a chance it's real. There's a chance it's been exaggerated.
Yeah.
There's a chance it's been hoaxed or it's all a lie. But if people decide to monetize it because they're living in this place and they need to
Make some fucking cash,
exactly,
dude.
support their families, in no way does that delegitimize it. That to me is just a natural phenomenon that happens because human beings are smart enough to
Yeah.
exploit any given situation.
Dude.
Now, I'm not saying that's what's happening in the
No.
Black Sea here.
This is not
good old Cape Aya.
no, but just putting it out there that possible hoax, possible faking, just to put it out there to say, okay, this is some sort of like fucking
I think you would pick
touristy
something
bullshit.
like a really austere serpent that like glistens with bioluminescence or something. I don't know if I would like pick a 10-foot tall silver-clad warrior that may or may not be fighting.
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that would be the lie I would make up if I was
I don't
trying
know,
to
man.
attract tourism.
No, I don't think it's a complete lie. I think you saw something. I mean, you know, through binoculars and water and sun at the right angle makes things really super shiny.
It's the end.
That's
it
true.
makes it hard to see too.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I believe maybe there was something there that was seen.
totally.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know why you would say a knight versus a serpentine
a silver
shape.
humanoid.
honestly,
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying knight,
Those
but
are
like-
my embellishments with the whole St. George thing, simply because a silver-clad humanoid tussling with what is known locally as a sea dragon
Right.
just
Yeah.
naturally puts into my mind
Sure.
Right.
Knights v. Dragons. But nobody that actually witnessed it was saying, oh, this is a sea knight. They're just
Right,
like, it's a,
right,
it's
right.
a
Yeah,
fucking
it's a
10-foot tall
giant
man,
fucking dude.
Shiny
tight-fitting,
thing.
semi-armorous, I don't know, armorous isn't a word, armored suit.
I like it.
And
Armorous.
and he was
Amorous.
tussling with a fucking beige sea serpent.
All right, so if this individual
Jeez, I know.
was out in the Black Sea fighting with this dragon, I mean, I guess according to the PhD, I forgot his name. Apparently, we're dealing with interdimensional portals and alien underground bases and whatnot. Possibly,
That's what he says.
I mean,
Oh,
I
boy.
guess that's a starting point. It's my favorite spot to start personally.
Is it?
But what other explanation could we be? Like, what could be happening out there that we just might be misconstrued for something like
Like
this?
a slightly taller than average dude who's wearing a white diving suit gets tangled with a log.
I mean, honestly.
I mean, yes.
yeah,
Of course
I'm
it could
just
be that.
putting it. We're just covering all
Or
the bases.
you know,
That's it.
the human Atlanteans, not Atlanteans, but people that live in the sea and
Right.
the other creatures that live in the sea they didn't see. Doesn't mean they have to be from another dimension. They could be from our dimension. They just fucking
True.
It's true. I mean,
like. Why does it doesn't have to be?
I don't know,
humanoid
the
offshoots.
doctor said it.
I have said this many times. I'm going to continue to espouse it. I am a big fan of the aquatic ape theory, the one that implies that a lot of what we are seems very reminiscent of creatures that went back to the water, be it pinnipeds or even whales or whatever. We have that subcutaneous layer of fat. We have hair that goes in a certain direction. A lot of it implies ancestors that live near water, plus, of course, consumption of mainly fish would exacerbate brain growth. I'm not saying that any of it is set in stone. I'm just saying I believe that it's a possibility. And what if, kind of like, early land whales or other creatures that went back to the sea, a branch did? Now, that we discussed in the Zimbabwe mermaids, and we talked about in other
Oh, yeah.
contexts.
Yeah, we did.
But what if semi-amphibious, not even amphibious, but just can hold their breath a really long time? They're about 10 feet tall. Like, whales got huge. When they were on land, they weren't fucking blue whale huge.
No.
That's an evolution that comes from being buoyant in water. So maybe if
Land
a
whale?
certain, ancient
That we know
offshoot
of.
of the human race became larger because in the buoyancy of water, it's okay, and they developed intelligence, and then ergo developed technology, resulting in the
Right.
kind of fucking metallic suit that it was wearing. It's a possibility. Is it a likely possibility? Of fucking course not. But then again, 73% or whatever of the living space on the world is on top of and under the ocean.
Right.
It would make
Yeah, lots of
much
water.
more
So-
sense
But-
that something would have evolved that's super intelligent there, where life started well before it came to land.
Right.
And I think it might be arrogant for us to think that we're at the apex of intelligence.
I
and-
agree with
and-
that. No,
and
I
tech.
totally agree with that.
Some tech might be so goddamn clandestine and awesome that we wouldn't even recognize it as tech because we build machines with plastic and fucking
Right.
circuits. They might have some organic crazy shit that would just blow
Like
our
some-
minds
like
if we
some-
could understand
Yeah.
it.
Some super
It
black
could
ops
be.
shit, yeah. But also too, this was in the 2000s, and cameras and technology is pretty readily fucking available. And there is apparently zero footage or anything. of
Dads and
this?
binoculars, not
There's
dads and
dads-
iPhones.
Yeah, I know,
there's
really.
jazz and
But I mean, you'd
binoculars.
think that at least by 2000, if you're on a fucking like a resort beach at some
No,
point,
I'll give
somebody
you
had
that.
a camera.
If that
like
many
something.
eyewitnesses were there,
You
and
know?
who's to say somebody didn't film something? Maybe they just didn't want to have their name associated with this
Right.
kind of clusterfuck.
Right.
Yeah, and look, how far was it out?
We
How far,
don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
we
Like, how
don't,
far
yeah.
was he, and how far was the thing he was looking from the shore at which he was looking at it.
We can
from.
assume that if they required binoculars, quite a distance, I
Very
would say.
well.
Well,
Could have been.
from him, but how far was that actually from where people could see it?
The only thing
You
they
know what I mean? It
specify
could have been 50 feet from the shore, but he
You're
could
right.
have been half a mile away.
is that when the humanoid swam away from the serpent,
Right.
It was closer to shore, and then it eventually swam through the coastal shrubbery.
But I mean,
Sure.
considering the binoculars and the distance, I mean, there is actually quite a possibility that maybe they were just seeing something that they just completely misidentified it.
Of course.
Well,
So-
sure. Some oiled up, fucking tanned.
Some fucking
It's
dude.
just going to be
Yeah.
a shiny
Right.
beacon of shiny.
a shiny beacon
In
of
the water.
shiny. Nice.
But-
But that's not fun.
It's not
It's not
fun,
fun.
and it doesn't really make sense. Like an outright lie, we can always put that on the table and fine.
A misidentification.
I mean,
yeah.
Satan actually enjoys sharing space with it. When the devil's on the table, he's like, the lie can hang out with me for a while.
totally.
Because that's all right. But I don't necessarily think that's the case. And supposing it isn't, even though we did acknowledge misidentification, we have to at least acknowledge that there are a proliferation, apparently, of legends of underground
Caverns.
alien bases, which might represent extraterrestrials, might represent interdimensional beings, parallel. Who the fuck knows?
Right.
Super
Stargates.
spectrum, Stargate,
Stargate.
fill it in.
Yeah.
So here, if you have these creatures coming in from another dimension, and they have high technology, and they're flying things that we would identify as UFOs or USOs, why wouldn't they? Like when when Lewis and Clark and whatnot are fucking going across the country and they run into a grizzly or a cougar or all sorts of heinous shit that wants to fucking eat them, they go toe to toe.
Yeah,
I
totally.
mean, one thing lives there. So in this case, in the Black Sea, there are cryptids that are fucking classic sea serpents, and they are not down with this invasion.
Right.
So these animals would, maybe for food or just territoriality or to protect their young, attack these things, and these superhuman silver things would try to defend themselves. I mean, that's just a basic assumption that could be made.
Right. But I mean, also too, though, people had the perception that maybe it was just a dude playing with his pet sea serpent. So,
Which I kind of love.
quick, possibly
Because I actually err on that side.
playing with his pet sea
his pet
serpent?
sea serpent. Yeah,
No,
I mean,
it's really what people said.
I mean,
What if it was an inflatable? Think about you've all seen binoculars, right?
Yeah,
It's like
it's
zooming
true.
in on a camera. Like
Right.
like one
No,
little
it's hinky.
one little move
little bit.
and you're
Hinky, I like it.
you're moved
Yeah.
10 feet for every millimeter you're moving.
But an inflatable is
So
not going
fucking-
to swim on its own back into the open sea.
Won't it?
I mean, if
Wow.
it's being carried on the current and you've already been duped, maybe.
I'm just saying, what if maybe this
Won't it?
interdimensional visitor just brought his little sea serpent pet? Because he's like, oh, hey, look, there's a fucking, a world that's mostly water. Let's go fucking check it out. Next thing you know,
And that's
boom,
the thing.
Bam,
Here's
there you go.
something, not
They're
to get
fucking
off-
wrestling. He's like, go check it out. And then he fucking swims back.
Absolutely. But
Pot
not to get
over.
off subject, any alien that comes here is not going to be
Fine.
talking about, wow, look at that sweet, sweet land.
Right.
They're going to be like, holy fuck.
Holy
this
fucking
is
water.
This
Yeah.
is the fucking marine land of lands. This is a water world,
mean,
literally.
If
I mean,
someone-
also, one, he came here because he loved the fish.
He looked, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It
Also,
could be
one
rare.
possibly also, too.
Water might be like
So-
a very precious commodity because most planets might not have not only this much of it, but this many species that live within it.
Yeah, so to more to Rob's point, that could be a reason why that they're here. Maybe it's just we're a fucking water world, minus Kevin Costner pissing in a fucking.
It's
Mr.
just
Coffee.
vacation
Like,
time. Like they have these little portals that like transport
Yeah,
you to.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, it is a
Here-
resort area.
It
that's
really-
what I'm saying.
I mean,
for a little bit of time to have fun in our water, and then
maybe to just
play with
frolic
our
and
sea
play,
serpents
yeah.
and
back and
do
yeah,
our
why
shit.
not? I mean, what other purpose? I mean, obviously there's a fucking litany of other shit they could be doing, but I mean, we're all kind of fucking.
Why do we always
creatures
assume
of fucking leisure and
it's
habit,
either
so.
science or invasion?
What if
we
it's
always
just to
assume
hang
it's,
out?
it's
Yeah.
dark shit or emotionless scientists that are conducting experiments on breeding, whatever. Greys do their thing. Other
because
things,
that's generally where it starts,
and that
Right.
makes sense.
that's how it's discovered.
But if
what
you
if it's
can
just like
travel, if there is faster
a
than light,
vacation destination,
faster than light
like-
travel, or wormhole travel, or whatever means they might use, and you can instantly just appear on any habitable planet, what would you come to our planet for?
swim.
To fucking swim.
Yeah, and bring your fucking sea serpent to be like, oh, let's go fucking wrestle in the fucking Black Sea.
Or
Bring
maybe they've just
your
made
sea
friends with
serpent.
these things. Maybe they're the pappins of the sea.
Yeah,
the puppies of the
sea.
underwater.
Yeah, maybe it was a giant fucking eel.
It could have been.
Could have been. Yeah.
But
Could have
they're
been
just
the
lovable
guy
to
coming
the
to play.
species.
A giant eel.
Although, if you want to take a more malicious approach at it, quite possibly, what if this was some sort of interdimensional being coming into our plane of existence?
Yeah. Well, we discussed that, and that's
I know,
a possibility.
We're putting the
Oh,
malicious
so the
intent-
serpent is the guardian?
Yeah. I
What
would
if the
think-
knight's the guardian?
I think the knight came from a different dimension.
It could easily be the other way around.
Well, you are correct. It could be.
You're right.
It
What
could
if
be.
Guardian knight.
indigenous humanoid guardian knights protecting us from the interdimensional hell spawn of sea dragons?
Or the interdimensional hellspawn sea well, I guess not interdimensional, the R-dimensional hellspawn sea dragons protecting us from the interdimensional knights.
Oh, so they're there for us.
I
Yeah.
feel like
be.
Guardian Knights of the Black Sea is way cooler.
It sounds like a cool fucking power metal record.
But are they
actually.
indigenous to
Next
Earth?
Rhapsody album.
Rhapsody of Fire.
Or when
Rhapsody
Rhapsody
yeah.
sings about them, will they be singing about the knights from another dimension that are just protecting their fucking wormholes?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm picking the knight because he has got more humanistic features.
Sure, we all identify with what we know.
Sure, that's
For,
it.
And
you know,
human beings have a natural aversion to snakes.
appendages,
I like snakes,
yeah.
but
Yeah, I don't mind snakes.
I love
I hate-
reptiles.
I fucking
in fact.
hate snakes.
But
They're
a
the
lot of
fucking
people
worst.
do. I get it. It goes back biblically. It's a
They
fundamental
can
fear we have
burn
of venomous
you're gonna
things.
burn in hell. They can burn in hell.
So it's easy to identify with fucking glistening interdimensional super knight.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Rather than off brown serpent dude.
I mean, serpent. The serpent is one of those things that, like, it's like you said, it's a natural aversion to the animal. It's just we're born, we're fucking bred to know to stay the fuck away from those things. Just like big giant fucking like things with giant teeth and shit, like tigers.
That's fair.
Like, stay the fuck away, man.
I'm not
It's
saying
just
that there
inbred.
isn't a primal part of our brains that says,
Not all snakes,
fuck all
though.
this.
All snakes want to kill you.
I
Even
found a
if
little
they-
tiny snake
they
right
don't.
outside of Chris's
Did you
house.
set it on fire?
No, I called
Then
Chris
you're
out
wrong.
and we cooed
Oh yeah,
and
I remember.
delighted.
It was
It's
right.
like,
It was
"Oh,
right.
it's a baby
At,
snake."
yeah, it was right
I
on
hate
the.
snakes. I fucking hate them. They're terrible.
We were almost like fucking two dads on the snake. Didn't work out.
Well,
Yeah, no.
we all have that friend that's a big
It's
snake
gonna be on
fan.
Netflix.
All right,
next year.
so what if it's an interdimensional protective knight and there's a problem? They come here for whatever purposes, be it scientific, be it getting our material resources, but these fuck-sucking serpents that are indigenous to Earth keep slipping through the goddamn Stargate, eating their children, like the way snakeheads when they're
So is it like
an invasive species.
Right, is it
Oh,
like
the,
a-
the
no
dogfish
natural
head.
pre- yeah,
The
the
dogfish.
snake.
Snakeheads.
Snakehead.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or pythons in the Everglades ever since the
Right.
hurricanes
So is this
released
like a
them.
revenge?
I wouldn't say revenge, but like it's these creatures that are indigenous to Earth, although not so far classified,
Okay.
are playing hell with their ecosystems because they do not belong in Dimension X.
Okay.
X3 to be specific. I mean, if you
Sweet.
wanna
Yeah,
get into
Nebula
details.
M.
Yep.
All right, cool. I'm there.
Nebula M Hunter.
I like it.
But yes, so maybe they're just doing their due diligence to protect their homeworld.
Okay. All right. Yeah. It very well could be.
Or maybe they really are the bestest of buddies and they just have a great time. Whenever they come to Earth, it's like just like old pals.
Yeah.
Like
Could
Kurt Russell and fucking
Goldie Hawn and Overboard.
no.
I knew he was gonna. I knew it. I knew it. I fucking knew
You
it.
know what? Because I love Overboard. I don't care.
I know you
what
do.
You guys
I know
say.
you
it's
do.
Fucking awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna go with. The interdimensional angle. I'm just gonna go with that they were frolicking. I mean, I'm not gonna take the normal malicious angle. I'm gonna go that maybe they were just out there in the sea, kind of fucking around. You know, just doing what they do.
Just rolling around.
Yeah, just
having
rolling
a
around.
good time.
Christopher, what do you think? Interdimensional.
I feel like
fight
they
or
were rolling
interdimensional
around.
frolic.
Probably misidentified, but I
Oh,
feel like they were.
alright,
I feel like
well, okay.
I feel like they were frolicking and not fighting, regardless
Okay.
of
All right.
what it is.
Robert.
Guy in a tinfoil suit with a swimming tube. Having a hard time staying afloat.
Wow, I like where you're going with this. I like it. All right. So are
But
you
in
going
my
with-
heart, what I really want to believe is that there's fuck the interdimensional shit. It's just two things from Earth that live under the sea that we don't know about.
Right.
That have forged an interspecies friendship, like a little boy and Old Yeller, though that ended tragically. So I'll try to think of a better example.
Look of Mice and Men. Wait, no, that was pretty
No,
bad too.
fuck, that
Yeah,
went
was
south.
terrible.
What animal fucking story doesn't go south?
Cujo? No, that fucked up.
Fucking Black Beauty? Does somebody get stomped to death?
Probably.
I don't even know how that works.
Black
No.
Beauty kills 6 families. So
Wow.
you're fucking good to go.
All right. It's the Benji of the sea.
Is
Benji never did anyone wrong.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think that.
I don't.
Wasn't there like a
I'm
Benji reboot?
There's been 1,000, and I'm
All right, yeah.
listen.
Oh
I'm
my
sure
God,
they've
did he
done
get shot
people
in the
wrong. Oh my god.
Someone fucking shoot Benji.
Most animal stories do end pretty awful.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
do.
they're all fucking
Most,
terrible. No, I
but-
cry at them all.
Black Stallion, that was pretty awful. I
Okay,
remember that being
fucking
cry-worthy, but no one died.
Was it just separation?
I may
what
have-
about Free Willy? How'd that work out?
Bad.
He got free and they never saw him again. Cry.
yeah,
Oh.
fucking. Wait, dude, fucking Turner and Hooch.
How'd that end? I don't even
I
remember
think
how that
fucking.
ended.
I think Hooch had
The
fucking
Last Unicorn?
babies, yeah.
Did he have cancer?
That was traumatic.
No,
as fuck.
it was fine. No, it was good. All right, so maybe this is just some frolicking fun in the Black Sea.
And I like the fact that they went their own ways. Like, I don't own you, you don't own me. I don't even like think of it like some where people were saying owner and pet. Like just two species. Maybe these sea serpents are smarter than we think, and
Right.
that's why they can avoid our fucking radar and whatnot. Not that submarines are ever
Radar,
looking.
you're
They're not.
only-
They're boop, boop, yeah, boop, sonar, whatever. They're not looking for these things. They're looking for
Look
other
for the Knight of
subs.
the Black Sea. Where-
I'm sure Eisenhower forged a truce with the fucking Knights of the Black Sea. Back in '54.
I'm sure there's redacted
Valiant
material.
Thor was probably his
I was going to
ambassador.
say, are you talking about Valiant Thor here?
No, I'm sure there was like some convoluted thing. This fucking like Malta fucking
Right.
conference.
All right.
died.
I'm sure we're cool with the Black Knights of the Black Sea. Or is that
The
redundant?
Silver Knights
The
of the
Silver
Black
Knights
Silver
of the
Knights
Black
Sea.
Sea.
Okay, just to step back and look at this.
All right.
It's just random people. A handful of them have binoculars. Some of them think it's a life and death struggle. Others are thinking, oh,
They're playing.
it's big fun. How do you even begin to ascertain the attitude of what a faceless, silver-clad humanoid and a writhing
Yeah.
serpent?
Yeah, really,
Like, how do
yeah.
you? I mean, I can understand why you'd actually assume violence if they're like thrashing around and twisting
Right.
and it's wrapped around him. Sure, you're going to think the worst. But I'm really confused. Like, I wish they actually cited examples of where the serpent grinned broadly and got a gentle, friendly punch on the shoulder.
well, that's the problem.
He
Imagine,
gave him a noogie. Like,
imagine
what did they
some
do?
external force came down and watched like a high school match of dodgeball.
Right.
We're like,
Right.
these fucking assholes are fucking killing each other with
Yeah. Yeah,
round
seriously.
thing. Fucking
Yeah, a death weapon.
death weapon.
so I mean,
Yeah, so maybe
I know.
from-
I've been fucking whapped in the nose a few times by a dodgeball.
But maybe
that shit
from-
fucking
but regardless,
hurts.
it's not.
I guess,
But it's not apocalyptic. No.
But the perspective is gonna, determine, how you're gonna perceive what
Yeah.
exactly they're doing.
Maybe
So,
maybe they
but
had a
you're right,
dance
though,
class and they were practicing their
It could be,
choreography.
yeah, like at what point do you look at that and go, no, they're just having fun?
So
Like
that's
it's
the
just a,
thing. That you
it's
don't
a
know.
Giant,
What's the clue?
It's a giant metal
You
dude
don't. You have
fighting
no
a fucking serpent.
You have
like-
nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
to
I
see-
don't actually have a theory, but this is what I want it to be.
Okay.
Aquatic humans that have evolved, split off many hundreds of thousands of years ago from us. Maybe they're still hairy under the suits. Who the fuck knows what they're looking like? But they're super smart. They have mad tech. Their main agenda is just to stay the fuck away from us because technically they own this world because the ocean is so much more vast than the land.
Right.
And they have made a truce with the serpents who are highly intelligent, maybe like just like super smart dogs, like golden retrievers or whatever the smartest dogs are. Right. And they work together to protect us from the interdimensional invaders that are trying to come through the portal. And they are the bulwark
wow.
of the Black Sea,
Wow.
saving each and every one of us every day by making sacrifices and huge, massive, violent thrusts forward into these caverns that keep us safe, and we never know it.
All right, there is a caveat
Perfect.
upon a caveat, stuffed into a caveat.
Violent thrusts.
Wrapped into a
Jesus Christ, I'm
caveat.
like, what are you
Jesus
doing?
Christ.
I
Like, that's
do you not want to believe that?
No, I do.
The Silver
it's a
Knights of the
lot.
Black Sea.
It's a lot.
I like that idea.
And they're
I just want the toy
Golden
line.
Wolves.
yeah, I really do. I want the toys.
I just want the
I want
toys,
the
yeah.
fucking
The
toys,
Sea Dragon Patrol.
All right.
They're like the cavalry. They work together. They ride together. They fight together. they love together.
All right.
I know. If there was like a
well.
flash of a trident and some lightning, I'd be like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
oh,
on
fucking
dope
dope.
shit.
You know,
But
my first thought, anything that's even near the Mediterranean, it's like, it's clearly fucking Poseidon.
well, that's what
Yeah,
I
I
mean.
know
Like
that
that's
came
what
to
I was
mind,
hoping
too.
for something like
I
that.
know, just a
like,
hint of something. You don't know.
This could, I mean, maybe quite possibly we could be digging back to Atlantis. You never know. Could
Yeah.
be.
Gods of old,
Yeah.
Atlantis.
This could be something coming up from Atlantis, just kind of frolicking in the open sea. And I'm like, oh no, they found us. We must go back.
No, once upon a time, these
All right,
these
well,
entities
maybe.
might have thought we can interact with humans, we can establish treaties, but they were so advanced, they were instantly like thrust onto Olympus and worshipped,
Right.
and they're like, "This is a pain in the dick." Prometheus, don't give them fire. They're only going to burn shit. Don't do it. Don't. You
they-
son of a bitch.
Yeah,
the
you did
fucking
it.
monkeys burned everything.
And then they went back to the sea and said, "Fuck all y'all.
Yeah,
We're
you
just going to
guys
do our
fucking
thing."
suck. We're gonna be here in the
and,
ocean.
and that's why
Okay.
the Greek and Roman gods are no more. But they still save us day in and day out from not just interdimensionals, but the ultra-terrestrial
oh,
invasion.
you're tossing the
No.
ultra-terrestrial.
The ultimate enemy of humanity. We all
the
fucking know it.
Sucking fuckers. Does that make sense?
Fear-sucking fuckers. Yeah,
No.
no, it was beautiful.
All right,
Well
good.
said.
I hate
Good.
that.
All right, so we got it. We got it on lockdown.
We nailed it.
What
I
else
think.
could it possibly be but all 400 things we suggested?
I think maybe
a guy in a floaty toy.
I mean, yeah, I think,
That's
I think really we all know what this is. This is just completely fucking misidentified 100% and then blown up into some bullshit. But whatever, it's
But
fine.
it's still awesome.
It's still fucking
awesome
dope.
because,
Yeah.
like I said earlier, if Japan had filmed this anywhere between 68 and 82,
Oh,
it
dude.
would have been just whatever
This could
story
be
they would have
fucking-
wrapped around it would have been beautiful.
Basically, it's Jet Jaguar.
Yeah,
fucking
it'd be a great
alligators and
anime.
fucking- yeah.
It's
totally.
Jaguar fighting Manda.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally.
oh yeah,
yeah
that's kind of
definitely.
Saint Seiya-ish too.
And if they had fucking made that weird offshoot movie, because
That'd be
neither one of
dope.
them got a solo project, and
No.
Manda was barely used.
Yeah, no, he
Jaguar
was.
used once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Son
Oh.
of a bitch. All right. Well, you know what?
Toho, get on it.
There you go. That is this week's episode of the Kryptonaut Podcast. Thank you all so very much for joining us. Social medias, Instas, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Patreon.
Yeah, how could you forget?
I almost forgot the Patreon.
Patreon.
Patreon.com/Kryptonaut Podcast. We might have some things happening there very soon, so be sure
Absolutely.
to check that
And
out.
we love all of the support we get. So any of you that out there that happen to be doing that, thank you so much. It really, honestly, it makes our fucking week. It's
Yeah,
wicked.
totally. It's awesome. Thank you all so very much. And TeePublic again. We launched
Three new
designs. We had the
Three.
International Occult Laborers Union. We have the Owlman of Cornwall and the Facebook fan group. Robert Thompson inspired design of all three of us as cryptids, kind of hanging out. So I'm actually the lizard guy.
Yep.
Chris is the alien.
Yeah,
and
Mark
Robert
threw a
is-
fit because he wanted to be a reptile.
I didn't throw a fit. I was just like, hey, I kind of want to be a reptile, and Chris is going to be an
He
alien.
called me up. He's like, well, "This is fucking bullshit."
Okay, I did not. That never once
Got
happened
angry,
at
like,
all.
we're breaking up pot
I
over.
think
I have
actually
it
originally
taped.
Chris per
I have it
Robert's
taped.
design, Robert's original design for our Facebook fan group header, Chris is actually the Dover Demon.
Yes.
And we were like, oh, should we keep Chris as the Dover Demon or maybe make him a gray? We were like, let's make him a gray, and we just made him a gray. And
Yeah,
then took
I
the,
didn't know- I had no
took
say.
the
No,
reptilian.
none of us did. Mark decided to do this, and he just
No,
dragged us
Mark
through
does what he
this.
wants, and we get yelled at.
We have no say in any
Yeah,
of this.
exactly. And you know
He's
what?
the
That's how it's
overlord.
going to
We
stay.
are creative groundlings.
We'll take our whippings after.
You guys are
know.
gonna, you know what? You guys are going to be in a lot of trouble. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Actually,
guys
I'm
are
really
a
proud.
lot.
Like,
Damn
Mark and I did do the designs for the Occult Labor Union and Owlman, and I love working with him, and it's fun. But I really do love the Kryptonaut fan site inspired
yeah, totally.
by Rob.
Robert Thompson.
I'm so bad. I'm
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
sorry.
You know, your name is Robert. but
I'm
it's no big
old.
deal.
I drink a lot.
There you
But
go.
that being said, that design is really fun, and the artists
cool.
at TeePublic really did a bang up job. So I love it all.
So check all that out. And as always, we'll be talking to you soon.
Oh fuck yeah,
Bye.
absolutely.
Why did we drink too much before we potted? What happened?
Well, we did a
I had
lot of things
some,
today.
we
but-
did.
I don't think we drank too much. I don't think this was a drunken fail.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I mean, we-
but-
No, this
We
was
drank a lot.
This is pretty normal.
We had more of a preamble than we usually do.
yeah, we did. That's true. Did we
I can't wait to drink more. I'll
Did
be
we
honest.
argue?
Today?
Yeah.
We certainly bickered, as we are wont
There's
to
bigger,
do.
but we did a whole fucking. There's
What
a
do we-
PA
what do
here.
we
There's
bicker
wires
about?
everywhere.
I was like,
Like
are
Phil-
you an amnesiac? What is happening
Yeah,
here?
what
Did we bicker about Phil Collins?
Yes. But wasn't it bicker? I think
No,
we all
it
came.
was a weird
we all
question,
came to
yeah.
No,
consensus.
we
you
all like
asked
to
if
go-
he was like relevant and meant something. I'm like, well, yeah, Phil Collins means something.
Yes, he does. And then you guys were talking about people who killed women by rivers songs, and I mentioned Richard Marx and was fucking,
You got-
I don't
you
know,
got chastised?
ostracized.
Oh, yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
almost choked on the water because
Because
Richard
maybe if
Marx.
somebody fucking sings a song about a dead girl by a river,
Yeah.
it's Richard fucking Marx
Yeah,
and his
There you
wonderful
go.
hair.
All right, good. Well, thank you all for joining us, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Laters.
See ya.
Now, if Richard Marx sang about Silver Knights fucking
Oh,
doing
yeah.
their duty.
He did. Should have known better. It was about Silver Knights.
It is.
That just makes sense.
Better Silver Knights of the Black Sea. That's just not what happened.
We'll be talking
but-
to you.